I'm Patrice Bisiot, author, executive coach, and the founder of Image Reading. So let's keep on pushing this journey on appearance and branding and image and understanding all those little details that will actually make you understand everything there is to know about human behavior and posture and all that. And in this beautiful but overcast Manhattan beach today with a tropical background for us to dream a little bit, it's about talking of today's episode with the top 5 ways you can read others. So remember, you are a leader, you are a listener, you are an observer. And I repeat myself constantly and I'm redundant for a reason, not because I lost my mind or I'm senile, not yet. So it's really about understanding that, because the moment you are present, you can see everything, you can hear everything, and that's what's going to make a difference, because remember, you are the product of what you are from the time you were a kid. We're all seeing the same thing, but in different situations, and we've all matured it very differently. And the sum of this plus that equal different things for different people. I'm here to decode it for you. I'm here to really understanding and showing you how simple the rules are and how amazing it is the moment you decoded that to be able to actually communicate with the world, because that's what you're about. Again, network, communication, teamwork, grouping together for success. That's really what you want. So let's go for tip number 1, and this is the power pause. So, no, I'm not talking about yoga. Okay. I'm talking about this serious thing. This thing that when you enter the room, where you meet the person for the first time and you shake their hand, you want that. The power pause? What is a power pause? Once again, it's a very simple concept, but why do I see so many of leaders not doing it? So, the shaking hand, looking away. Really? No. What I'm talking about, walk into the room. Shoulders square, chest up. For ladies, for gentlemen, for everybody, because that's really what makes a difference. Eye contact, because I want you to look at this person and read their soul right in their skull, because that's really what people want to see. It scares them a little bit, and at the same time, they are seeking for that. Again, just at the time, when you were a kid, what were you doing? Pushing boundaries to see until where you could go. Same thing your opponent here. They're here to really judge you. They're here to assess you. They're here to see what's going on. Now that's your time to shine. Your time to shine is this motto I have. You only get one chance to make a first right impression. Because the moment the person sees you, that's how they connect, and that's how they have putting you already in a box. Because that's what society does. Again, we think we are so open-minded and we're not. So that person has put you into that box. Let me tell you, if you want to get out of that box, and if that's the wrong box that you're in for their mind, you're going to have to do so much more work, and it probably won't work because people will just stay with their first instinct. And this is why when you walk into that room, own the room. Again, the leadership, show you are in control. What are people attracted to? Self-insurance, self-esteem, just the power, inspiration. That's what we're about. So remember, the power pause is the most simple thing, and yet I see many of you not doing it. And why? It's very simple, right? You just said it. And then you know what? Apply it. Apply it every single time. It's just the same thing as self-development, as brushing your teeth. It's just training and doing it every day until one day it just becomes part of you, because that's really what you want to show the world. So remember the power pause, and this was tip number 1. Alright, so let's keep on going, and it is tip number 2, and that one is actually funny because, again, such a simple one, and I hear everybody going, oh, of course. Well, when I was really pretty much no one is doing it, whether in the street or anywhere for that matter, in social setting or a business setting, and it is covering your mouth. So, you're in the boardroom, you're at a meeting, maybe, I don't know, your kid kept you awake all night. All right, maybe you're tired. Maybe you're bored with the topic. Maybe it's ongoing and going and going. It's a meeting, a 4-hour meeting, and you can't take it anymore. You yawn. It's only human. Whether you're tired, you're demotivated, you're drifting away, it's okay. But what happened? You yawn, and your mouth is wide open, and for everybody to see all the inside of your body? I don't think so. How about your mouth in front of it? That's the first mark of respect. This is so simple, but yet I see it all the time. And then actually with the mouth, the covering the mouth is actually the beginning of that journey. How about when you go for a business meal? Oh, I love that one. And when I say that, I'm actually sarcastic because I don't. It's usually the person across from you chewing with the mouth open. Wow, that's nice. But then it's even better because at times what they do actually they think that they actually want to carry a conversation while they're eating, while they're chewing their food. So that's great because not only they're enjoying the steak that they're chewing on, but my suit is getting that as well. Like all those pieces are coming, and sometimes can land on my face too. Great. And let's keep on going with that. For instance, the one that are actually chewing food and drinking all at the same time. You know what? When you were 5 years old, this was cute. Probably. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can't remember. As an adult, unacceptable. And especially for someone like you who's here to inspire. Do you think that's going to inspire? I mean, I'm not inspired by seeing that. I mean, I'm French. That was something we were taught from the most little age around the table. It's called etiquette. This is something you need to know because this is something that you actually will make a difference with someone that's actually uneducated, someone that hasn't really traveled that much, someone that doesn't know any better, and there's no shame to it. But you know better. You can make it happen, and you know it. And like I say, often I hear, I know that. Okay, great. So why is it that you don't do it? So remember, please, anything that has to do when your mouth is covered beside talking, your hand in front, and that was tip number 2. Continuing on with tip number 3. And before I keep going with that, I want to make something very clear because yes, I understood the importance of body language. The importance of all the subliminal details, all those messages you're sending out with all those little things. But I want you to know, I actually support it on facts. And the facts are medical study, clinical experiences, everything about what I'm talking about. I have actually done a ton of reading on because there are always new studies and new everything to support what I'm saying. It's not just a marketing trick I have created for you to know and to pay me for. It's actually, well, not that, because I'm delivering my content for free because I love sharing. But seriously, it is all about a serious science. I'm not coming to you just on things I have observed and listened. It's one part of it. But the other part is supporting it with professional, with medical, with this background that actually is science and really is backing me up on what I'm sharing with you over the weeks. So let's go for tip number 3, your feet. Okay, so let's go for a little pop culture thing. If you get to be interrogated by the FBI, which hopefully none of you are, soon or anytime ever, what do you think FBI is actually reading when you lie or when you change your story or when you're nervous and you're anxious, whatever it is? Your feet and your legs. Why? Well, because you know what? Your face, your hands, you have trained them. And why do they call it a poker face? Because poker face is something you can actually do and try to actually get the person across from you and get all their money or whatever their game is. But that's why this is something you have trained, that you're able to actually show what you want to show. You want to display what you want to display. Now, your feet is something you sort of forget. So it's like, oh, okay. But if you think about it, let's get back in time because I love doing that. When you were a kid, all right? You don't know how to speak yet. You're mumbling and making all those sounds. When you're in the high chair, you don't want to eat anymore. You want to go on the floor. You want to crawl and run and do whatever you can do. What happened? Your feet. They sway faster and faster. Now you're pointing, you're tippy-toeing towards the floor. You are showing, hey, I have enough to be here. I'm having it. I want to get down. I want to crawl and have fun. That's really what it is. Your feet, no one told you to do that. Your feet are the first form of expression before anything else because right now you cannot say it. Your face is whatever it is because you're a baby, so you don't know any better and there's no poker face. That's what it is. Further, when you go on a date, what happened? You're at the table. So you're having a conversation. Now, you sort of want to know, hey, where are we? Is it working well? What happened? You're not going to touch each other's hand because that's way too forward and I don't want to be that bad guy or just too fast of a girl. Okay, so what happened? the foot, without any word, what happened? Touching tip, the toes, the tip of the toe. That's what's gonna be. And if you do that, what happened? You get a response immediately, whether the person is going for you, and now we're going at it, or the person think, wow, a little too fast here. And now the feet are retracting. That's another sign. Now another one, and I actually just read, a scientific research on that, which is you're you're passing through a hallway. Your two friends are over there. You want to talk to them. Oh my God, I like them. I want to talk to them. Little test, and it doesn't fail. I mean, it is true every single time. You go. If their feet are starting pointing towards you, they're inviting you in. If they are not, that really means we are having a conversation right now. We're really happy with what's going on. We really don't need another person in the middle of it. So I advise you of something. Walk your way through, because that's not an invitation. That's telling you, please walk and continue on your life. That is really something, again, that it's factual. Make that little test yourself, because you will see. So remember, your feet are saying everything you didn't even know. And that was tip number 3. Moving on up with tip number 4, blinking. All right, what do I mean by that? So when I was 19, I opened this beautiful business, with a one-stop shop with every beauty service you can, buy. So it was like very much image-driven. So I needed a manager, and it happened it was a friend of mine who really wanted to get into like customer service business, like really something one-on-one, getting to know people and having a conversation. But after 5 minutes, I realized, and I warned her, because she didn't strike me as someone who was that person, but she was well-spoken, beautiful, young, everything for her. But she was actually terrified by the clients in front of her. And my clientele is very demanding. They pay top dollar, but they expect the excellence of what money can buy. So now I'm telling her that, and she really thinks that she's good. She's totally on top of it. And then she would, when someone would go a little too forcefully on her, she would start blinking. But blinking, it's not even blinking. A hummingbird is slow next to her eye. I mean, it was scary to see. And now the person could read that body language tells me, oh, the person is actually, scared of me. She's frightened. She really doesn't want to be here. Which was a problem for my business, because I need people that are in control, people that understand what it is to be on top of the game. And that blinking thing was just, you want to talk about a subliminal message. Nobody told you, oh, blinking like that is just, you're scared. But you can read it. Now you're trying to make eye contact with that person, and all they do, they're batting their eyelids, and it's crazy, it's distracting, it's confusing, and it really tells me you don't know what you're doing, you're scared, or you don't even want to be here. And that's something I have seen. And listen, we all do it. Not too long ago, I had an interview, and actually, instead of being in a present moment, all I can think is I need to deliver this, and that in order for my point to come across. What did I do when I saw the reel? I was like, oh my God, I did it with my eyes. So you see, even I'm teaching it, there are times I need to remind myself that, hey, yes, you can do it, because I was concentrating too much on what was going on further, instead of remember the now, the moment, the present moment. That's what I didn't do, and that's why my eyelids were going not as fast as my ex-manager, but it was definitely going a lot faster than I should have done. So that's a little trick, but that will tell also a lot to the person across from you. That was tip number 4. And finally, tip number 5, shrinking. And no, I don't mean they're gonna push you into a washing machine at a hot water temperature with strong detergent. Now, alright, joke, not so funny apart. Now, it's really about knowing and showing, your attention to what's going on in front of you. And the shrinking process basically goes that way. You sitting down, whether the boardroom, it's a business dinner, whatever the case may be, but you're sitting down across from the person who's pitching you an idea, who's sharing a project with you, maybe seeking for a new business partnership, and you are disengaged. You are suddenly not feeling it, And because you're only human, you're drifting away once again, because that's the fair thing to do when we are humans. Only you catch yourself back up, because if the body shrinks, what happens? Again, you can see that, and you can read that without having been in the science of body language. The shoulders are drooping. Perhaps the head is going to start tilting to the side. Maybe now you're going to start compressing your chest and your stomach together, because it's like, oh my God, could I be somewhere else? The person across from you, once again, they know nothing maybe about body language, but they can recognize by instinct that this is telling me, or telling them rather, oh, okay, but you should tell me if I'm not interesting enough for you. Same thing when you stand. You are together in one unison, one harmony. The bodies are facing each other. Same thing. Yes, I know. Sometimes, you feel like you would be somewhere else, and maybe you're not that interested, or else you're tired. But when you're standing, it's the same thing. Start to the side, look up maybe, and then the shoulders are drooping once again, and it becomes this process of actually looking like you're losing height. And by losing height, that tells the person across again, you're not interested, you're not into it, and that's not going to make them feel that great. So little detail, and it really goes with number one. Make sure you're not doing it body straight, shoulders square, chest up. That will show engagement, leadership, command, everything about you. I'm here, I'm present, I own this room. All right. Thank you very much again for your time. You know I love our little meeting, rendezvous, everything you want to call it. Every week, info@patricebisiot.com. Any question you have, please, of course, like, comment, share, everything. And I will see you on the next episode.